So now we know the identity of the woman who was shot by ICE yesterday. Her name is Renee Good. And there was a protest, a lot of protests today. Oh yeah, and now you got the Trump administration and the White House doubling down back in these pathetic, bigot, jacked up, bootlicking ICE agents as well. And blaming Renee Good, making her the perpetrator when she was just an innocent bystander and a victim of all this.
Behind the heroic men and women of ICE and will always uphold law and order in the United States of America. The deadly incident that took place in Minnesota yesterday occurred as a result of a larger, sinister, left-wing movement that has spread across our country, where our brave men and women of federal law enforcement are under organized attack. Right now, Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers are facing a 1,200% increase in assaults, a 3,200% increase in vehicle rammings, and an 8,000% increase.
Yeah, and you know what the thing was? Yeah, increase, yeah. But the thing was the ICE, or what are they going after now? Back in the day, what did ICE used to go after? Yeah, drug cartels, kingpins, kidnappers, traffickers, sex offenders. ICE nowadays, because what Trump's weaponized ICE nowadays. Oh, you can be you could have the mindset of a fucking bird brain and get $50,000. Yeah, he'd be done some broad $50,000 bonus like that. Anybody left like that? I mean, what does ICE go after? Yeah, innocent, undocumented, even documented, and total legal U.S. citizens. I mean, I saw a video a couple months ago. Someone went to an ICE agent, called him a chomo. The ICE agent put his gun like that. Call me a chomo again and see what happens. I kid you not. These are unhinged, despicable, jacked up bootlickers. And she wants to call these guys heroes? Are you kidding me?
In death threats. ICE agents are faithfully enforcing federal law to protect the safety of the American people by removing criminal illegal aliens from our country, which is exactly what nearly 80 million Americans
See, that's funny. Illegal aliens? You got ICE going out there targeting black people, white people, people not minority, people that have clean records, never even having a simple as a traffic or moving violation. Yeah, you stand up for your rights, they're going to come after you. This is what it's come down to. You stand up for your rights. You talk smack about the Trump administration, MAGA, dirty ICE and cops out there. They're going to come after you. You don't think they will? They can come after me right now. If they want to, yeah, they can break down the door and hold me gunpoint. They probably would if they thought they could.
President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance to do.
Unbelievable.
Radicals in the Democrat Party are furious over this. They don't want our border secured or criminal illegal aliens being removed. As a result, Democrats are impeding immigration enforcement operations daily, creating extremely heightened and dangerous circumstances that make it nearly impossible for the men and women of law enforcement to simply do their jobs. Democrats are calling to defund federal law enforcement agencies who are protecting public safety. And Democrats are calling to abolish ICE and defund the police. That will never be allowed to happen under this president and vice president. The Trump administration will redouble our efforts to get the worst of the worst. Criminal, illegal alien killers.
They're not going after the worst of the worst. They're going after innocent American citizens who are just standing up for their God-given rights, constitutionally protected rights, and doing constantly protected activity out there. Nothing more. They're not getting the worst out of the street. The Biden administration did that. They got the worst out of the street. The Obama administration did that. They did that. The Trump administration didn't do that. They're going out there targeting. I mean, you got them. They're even attacking reporters and journalists out there. Yeah.
rapists, and pedophiles off of American streets.
They didn't get no
The
pedophiles
Department of
off the damn
Homeland
street.
Security will continue to operate on the ground in Minnesota, not only to remove criminal illegal aliens, but also to continue conducting door-to-door investigations of the rampant fraud that has taken place in the state under the failed and corrupt leadership of Democrat Governor Tim Walz. Taxpayers have been ripped off to the tune of billions of dollars in this one state alone, and that is going to end, and people are going to be held accountable. The Trump administration has activated thousands of federal agents, doubled the number of U.S. attorneys in the DOJ office in Minneapolis, and surged resources to hold fraudsters accountable and demand justice for law-abiding American taxpayers and citizens across our country.
Yeah, basically, she's kind of trying to spin the narrative as well, too. They've been saying it for a while. Oh, if you talk trash, you talk smack, if you slander our fine, great police officer, our wonderful ICE agent, we're coming after you. Huh. Guess what? I'm still going to protect my innocent. The only way you can silence me is fucking take away my ability to exercise my First Amendment. Ha, crazy. Well, wait, there's more, baby. There's always more. We're just warming up on this one.
Vigil is happening now in Pleasanton.
Yeah, like I said,
in memory
large crowd.
of Renee Good. Started about an hour ago.
Yeah, let's go live to ABC 7 News reporter Unser Hassan at that event. Unser, describe the atmosphere there.
Yeah, Dan and Alma, good evening. This vigil's been going on for about an hour now here at Delucci Park in Pleasanton, a very popular gathering site here in the city. They have been here to mourn Renee Good, the mother of three who was shot and killed by ICE agents in Minneapolis on Wednesday. There have been prayers and songs of resistance and solidarity. The vigil is organized by the group Indivisible Tri-Valley. They say the goal is to, quote, demand accountability for state violence. They're calling for a full investigation into the shooting. Organizers say they aren't opposed to immigration reform, but are raising concerns about how ICE conducts itself. Some in the crowd calling for ICE even to be abolished due to the lack of accountability and transparency. Now, the video of the incident has gone viral, sparking outcry in cities across the country. According to the Department of Homeland Security, Good was allegedly attempting to run over an ICE agent when she was shot. Minnesota's Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis's mayor both have disputed those claims. The group Indivisible Tri-Valley says Minneapolis may be far away, but that something similar could easily happen here in the Tri-Valley, especially since the federal correctional institution is in nearby Dublin.
It could happen here. We've got a detention facility that the federal government's trying to turn into an ICE facility, detention facility. And so, you know, anytime it could change and become a Minneapolis or a Portland or anybody.
The group is calling on East Bay representatives, congressional representatives, to do more. This group also plans to hold some more events
across our region today to protest ICE.
Yeah, Burlington City Hall was flooded with signs and banners in support of Renee Good.
Our Jackson Stover was at the rally. Jackson, you've seen this type of event before. What did the protesters have to say tonight?
Well, after the incident in Minnesota yesterday, protesters we spoke with today want ICE out of the state and say what happened to Renee could have happened to anyone.
Think to ourselves, is this real?
For Steve Conan and the hundreds of others that rallied across our region on Thursday, their message to the Trump administration was clear.
Justice for Renee! Justice for Renee! Justice for Renee!
37-year-old Renee Nicole Good was a Minneapolis resident and mother, shot and killed by Immigration and Customs Enforcement on Wednesday while behind the wheel of her SUV. Her death sending shockwaves across the country.
What brought me out here? What's going on in this country?
The news prompting many from across our region to take a stand.
It's more important than ever, we feel like, to be standing out here and saying we need ICE out of our communities.
From an afternoon protest in Saranac Lake to a candlelight vigil in Fairfax, Vermont.
It really felt very close to home, and it felt very indicative of what's happening to our country.
And this march down Church Street in Burlington.
We can't take this down unless we're all together.
The word words, "Justice for Renee," were projected on the federal courthouse downtown.
I think what I would say to ICE and to our politicians and people in power in Vermont is that, we should get ICE out of here.
For many, it wasn't the first time speaking out against ICE, like Will Lambeck with Migrant Justice, and his friend Emilio, who's originally from Mexico.
They go around saying that we're the criminals.
He shared his own thoughts on ICE's crackdown on immigrants.
I felt sad and I felt angry about what happened, to see what our community is going through, the way that immigrants are being persecuted, and then what happens to people who try to support our community.
The circumstances that led up to the shooting are still not clear. The FBI is the lead investigator in this case. Now, organizers of Burlington's protest say they intend on rallying again this weekend in support of Renee. Reporting in the newsroom, Jackson Stover, NBC5 News.
Americans marched downtown to protest the shooting in Minneapolis. NBC7's Ignacio Dominguez was there and joins us now with the latest.
Thursday night in San Diego, as tensions rise across the nation after the death of Renee Nicole Good, the Minneapolis woman shot by an ICE agent in her car, protesters in San Diego taking to the streets.
The poor lady, all she wanted to do is to help somebody in trouble, and she got killed.
What started early in the day, then continued into the night and through a number of streets, escalating for a moment.
And at one point tonight, a confrontation in the streets of downtown San Diego. Protesters coming across this van.
Seconds after, volunteers were pushing protesters to clear the area as San Diego Police Department closed in on the street. In the sea of signs that read "Justice for Renee" and "ICE out of San Diego," others also pushing against the administration.
The injustice of what's happening at this current state, our government, and what is happening to not just us Latinos, but everyone else in this country.
In a statement to NBC7, ICE says they encourage Americans to exercise their constitutional rights of free speech and peaceful assembly. However, they remind peaceful protesters to remain
cautious. I encourage Americans to exercise the constitutional rights of free speech. Yeah. When, like I said, when somebody called an ICE agent a chomo, he threatened to unalive the guy. Said, "Call me a chomo, see what happens." Whatever, have free speech, bro. You know, stick of stones may break your bones, but yeah, words shouldn't do nothing to you.
As rioters and agitators fueled by unhinged rhetoric by activists and politicians are responsible for a 1,300% increase in assaults against ICE officers and an 8,000% increase in death threats. Tonight, some say they will continue showing up and speaking out.
A lot of us here tonight have been also present at other protests for the same reason, No King's Day. We are very frustrated and we demand that we be seen and be heard.
In downtown San
Yeah. Oh, baby. It's just getting better. We're going back to home base now right here in Seattle. Fox 13.
A vigil in March was already planned for tonight after the deadly shooting in Minnesota. Fox 13's Jennifer Dowling joins us with what she's hearing from protesters about both that shooting and today's incident in Portland.
500 to 600 people gathered here at Pier 58 tonight to remember Renee Good. They also marched along the waterfront. They said they're very aware of what happened in Portland and are concerned about that shooting as well.
It's just further evidence that, yeah, this absolutely needs to stop.
Hundreds marched along the waterfront calling for change a day after Renee Good was shot and killed by ICE in Minnesota Wednesday. The group also held a moment of silence for Good before speakers demanded accountability from the government for her death, and candles burned nearby on what they called an altar of remembrance.
This can't be a one-night event. This has to keep going.
Speaker said Good was disgracefully labeled as a domestic terrorist, saying she was a mom of 3, her youngest just 6 years old, adding it was shocking that she was killed in her own neighborhood.
It just shows that this is, not just a system that's against immigrants. It's against all working people.
Speaker said Renee was the first on camera, but was not the first to die because of ICE's actions and won't be the last. This vigil in March was organized by Defund Musk and Indivisible.
We really thought it was important to stand up and make a statement about, one, how our
our deep sorrow for the death of Renee Good, and how the horror of the death here.
It's just really kind of horrific. Like at my age, this could be my daughter. This could be anybody's daughter, anybody's sister, anybody's mother.
I mean, for fuck's sake, dude, it could have been my girlfriend Sandy for all I know.
Or anybody's cousin, you know, just everybody going about doing their business that could potentially be shot by ICE in their neighborhood right now.
This gathering was even larger than Wednesday's gathering, and the groups here vow more actions in the weeks ahead. Reporting from Seattle, Jennifer Dowling.
Makeshift memorial to pay their respects as protesters urge ICE to leave their city. Dozens of people circling around a memorial of flowers today at the scene of the tragic, deadly shooting in Minneapolis Wednesday involving federal agents.
She was not armed. She was not a threat. She was standing for freedom. And the federal government answered her courage with a bullet.
The group praying for 37-year-old Nicole Good, the woman behind the wheel of this Honda SUV, appearing to block the road. This disturbing video posted on X causing public outrage. Federal agents shouting demands as an ICE agent grabs the door. Good backs up, then drives forward. Suddenly, an immigration agent fires multiple rounds at the vehicle, killing Good.
That woman was there to interfere with a legitimate law enforcement operation. She was trying to ram this guy with her car. He shot back. He defended himself.
But many rejecting those takes as prejudging what really happened. A debate inflaming clashes today between protesters and law enforcement outside a federal building. Today it was determined the FBI will lead the investigation, sidelining Minnesota's Bureau of Criminal Apprehension. South Shore Congresswoman Robin Kelly calling for the impeachment of Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem.
She is an incompetent, unqualified leader, and really a disgrace to our democracy. As was talked about, she lied to the American people about the murder of Renee Nicole Good, calling the mother of the 6-year-old child that she had just dropped off a domestic terrorist.
And tonight, the Trump administration showing no signs of backing down in all of this. The White House saying the Department of Homeland Security will stay on the ground in Minneapolis.
You know, it's just crazy. You know, you got these people, these stupid police apologists, ICE apologists. You're in the frauds. We never. Oh, if you stand up for your rights, or if you exercise your rights, oh, you're a frauditor. Oh, you're a sovereign citizen. Oh, you're a patriot. Oh, you hate you have such hate and disdain for police. Oh, just leave them alone. They're doing God's work. Oh, if you're filming the cops and ICE out there, you're stalking and harassing them. Crazy. That's wild.
Mayor of Portland, Oregon is calling for a halt to immigration operations after Border Patrol agents shot 2 people there today. Ooh. A man and a woman turned up shot in a neighborhood there after they drove away from the scene of the shooting. According to the Portland NBC affiliate, the Department of Homeland Security says they were shot trying to harm federal officers with their vehicle. That's the same explanation DHS used for yesterday's deadly shooting in Minnesota, a shooting that triggered protests around the nation today and here in Salt Lake City. News specialist Daniel Woodruff is live at Pioneer Park, where a lot of people turned out in the cold to speak out. Daniel?
Yeah, Deanie, people here tonight told me they are angry and upset about the shooting death of Renee Good in Minneapolis. Tonight they called for an end to ICE activity and for justice.
Anger against ICE on display in Utah's capital city.
It's just instilling hate in our communities. We're just enraged.
Organizers from the Party for Socialism and Liberation helped put together this rally, one day after 37-year-old Renee Good was shot and killed by an ICE officer in Minneapolis.
We're here to say that we condemn the attacks and the brutal, cold murder of Renee Good.
Trump administration officials say the officer fired in self-defense as Good tried to run him over. But people here don't believe that.
She was not going to hurt anybody, and they just shot her in the head.
I think it's terrible. It's tragic.
It happened to Renee, and it can happen to anybody.
Amid the hundreds gathered, Jacob Mon showed up to counter-protest and defend the ICE officer involved.
He was getting run over, and he did what he had to do.
You know, it's unfortunate that someone had to die, but the officer acted well within his...
Oh, yeah. You're probably one of those dudes who are like that. Oh, why are you recording the police? You're stalking, harassing them. Oh, leave them alone. Back to blue like the rest of us. They're heroes.
Right. Not long after this interview, Mon was involved in a fight. This video obtained by KSL shows him punch a guy who was yelling at him. Others got involved before police officers quickly ran over.
And Salt Lake Police didn't immediately have any further information about that incident, but they did tell me that no further violence was reported, that besides that, this rally tonight was peaceful. Back to you.
All right, grateful for that. Daniel, thank you.
Federal immigration officers shot and wounded 2 people in Portland, Oregon. The Department of Homeland Security claims they were connected to a Venezuelan gang. Then they say a driver attempted to run over the law enforcement agents. DHS says an agent opened fire, fearing for his life and safety. The conditions of the 2 people shot are still unclear. And in Minneapolis, protests continue tonight. People hit the streets to protest the deadly shooting of a woman by ICE agents. Earlier in the day, CBS News' Matt Gutman was in the middle of a tense face-off between protesters and police. Someone threw a snowball, officers launched some sort of stun grenade, and a woman was dragged on her face. And tonight we have learned more about the ICE agent who pulled the trigger. This was not his first showdown with a car. His decision to open fire on Renee Good is now under FBI investigation. But tonight, as CBS News' Nicole Skanka tells us, the administration is still backing the officer's actions.
The federal agent who fatally shot a woman Wednesday morning in South Minneapolis belonged to a specially trained tactical ICE unit. Multiple sources confirmed to CBS News. Jonathan David Ross has served at ICE for over a decade and is based in Minneapolis. During an ICE operation last summer in nearby St. Paul, video shows Ross being dragged by a suspect during an attempted arrest. These images from court documents show his injuries, requiring 33 stitches. While this latest incident is barely 24 hours old, top officials have already weighed in.
She was trying to ram this guy with her car. He shot back. He defended himself.
This was an act of domestic terrorism.
I found it, to be honest, the department's official statement and the secretary's statements were really irresponsible.
John Sandwig is the former acting director of ICE.
Candidly, it defeats the entire purpose of the investigation.
You know, it's getting to the point nowadays you just stand up your rights against dirty ICE and cops.
Viewed as credible by the public.
I think there are going to be large segments of the public who don't view this as credible. I don't blame them.
In cases like this, state and federal agencies work through the investigative process together. Today, the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension says they were informed by the FBI that state prosecutors would not have access to the investigation.
But it must be part of this investigation. These are nonpartisan career professionals that have spent years building the trust of the community.
Nicole Skanka, CBS News, Minneapolis.
Renee Nicole Good, the woman that was shot and killed inside that car, was honored at the Minnesota Timberwolves basketball game tonight.
And our hearts are with our community as we hope for healing and unity during this challenging time. Please join us in a moment of silence.
A moment of silence before the game between the Timberwolves and the Cavaliers. The game happening in downtown Minneapolis, just miles from where Good was killed. Now, the AP reports the 37-year-old had just dropped her youngest child off at school before the shooting. Good, her wife, and their 6-year-old son had recently moved to Minneapolis from Kansas City. Good was a U.S. citizen born in Colorado who had reportedly never been charged with anything beyond a single traffic ticket. While the Trump administration continues to paint Good as a domestic terrorist who attempted to ram federal agents with her car, her friends, family, and neighbors say they will remember her as supportive, kind, and compassionate. Good also leaves behind 2 other children from a previous marriage. Now, across the country, people are reacting and organizing against what happened in Minneapolis, and that includes protests across Southern California that continued into the night. CBS LA's Gio Insignaris live in Long Beach now, where a demonstration was held tonight in front of City Hall. Gio, good evening.
Pat, good evening to you. That's right. There was a sizable crowd, very passionate out here in front of City Hall tonight. You'll notice not many of them left right now as they were just marching up Ocean Boulevard here. But overall, the entire night, everything from signs to outward actions and words expressed, all centered around one particular message. It's a message meant to ring from Long Beach to Minneapolis and beyond. Demonstrators tonight gathering in front of City Hall to stop ICE terror.
And we need to support all of our neighbors, which means our immigrant neighbors, our business owners, our local business owners, our local Americans. Renee had no reason to die tonight.
Among the crowd, signs and photos of Renee Good, the 37-year-old U.S. citizen and mother who was killed by an ICE agent in Minneapolis Wednesday.
It happened in Minnesota, but it could really happen anywhere. We want to make sure that doesn't happen again.
For Bianca Carrillo and many others here tonight, they say that deadly shooting highlights the importance of standing up against ICE and the current administration. Federal officials, including President Trump, have said the shooting was in self-defense, accusing Good of trying to use her vehicle to run over law enforcement officers.
Any official who's manufacturing consent for this is, should be ashamed of themselves and should be called out, because that is not what happened.
Make some more noise if you want to march!
Crowds and community groups also rallying in Boyle Heights tonight at Mariachi Plaza, calling what happened in Minneapolis devastating and entirely preventable, arguing for ICE to leave communities nationwide.
Mourning the loss of somebody who was standing up for their community. Yeah, that's it. I feel like we're all mourning.
Call to action extending into downtown LA as well, as many gathered in front of the federal building this morning.
This is unacceptable to us.
Scary, to say the least. The collection of demonstrations across SoCal, capturing an anger and a sadness everyone hopes is not ignored.
This action doesn't stop here, that you need to join an organization, that you need to get organized, that you need to become politically educated and play an active part in making this world a better place for everyone.
And that was the big takeaway from this evening's protest, at least here in Long Beach, that this is just one step of a grander mission, that they are going to continue to organize, continue to gather more friends and family and anybody who can get together and make sure that their message is heard. Reporting from Long Beach tonight, I'm Gio Insignaras, CBS.
I got some, down the street where I am, I got some Latinos down the street. Yeah. A lot of them, they're like, landscaping, lawn business, and that's exactly what they do. And they're hard workers, man. 4th of July comes around, they'll put up huge fireworks display, man. All the years I have done fireworks like that, except last year, I went with my girl by Lake Union. But, dude, even though I got home, 3 o'clock in the morning, they were still lighting fireworks, having a good time. That's what you do, man. Hard workers, play like that. How many times have you gone to, like, a Home Depot or a Lowe's? You see Latino workers out there. And I've always, people, I would say, hey, there's a huge difference between giving a black man $20 and giving a Mexican $20. Yeah, a black man just taking money, go get an 8-ball or probably some reefer and a 40 ounce of Old English. You give a Mexican $20, he'll clean your gutters, your roof, mow your lawn, weed smack, and he'll call it a day, come back with a 6-pack of Coronas and an array of street tacos for you. You're like, is that for me? Yes, senor, yes, see? That's what I'm talking about. And the point, they're just spinning a narrative like that. They're just spinning a narrative like that. I've had people attack me, say, oh, you need to stop stalking, harassing our fine police officers that are seeing, man. You need them, leave them alone. They're doing God's work. They're doing heroes. Our ICE they're cleaning the streets of the worst of the worst. You need to just hush them, back to blue and ICE. Yeah, it's ludicrous. They're no better than a rape apologist or a Chomo sympathizer. That's what they are. ICE sympathizers and police apologists. What about the officers, like the one that killed George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Dante Wright, Janami Kundua, Manuel Ellis? The list goes on. What about that cop that tased the guy in the genitals a few times? Yeah. Or what about the Florida cop that raped a teenager over and over? Or the one in Tennessee that happened. Remember I did a story a couple weeks ago about, a couple weeks ago. A cop was convicted by a jury of his peers of unaliving an innocent person. And guess what happened? The judge overturns the verdict, letting the scumbag, dirty cop who kills go free. How long did it take Kevin Dave to lose that? It took 2 years for the Seattle PD to investigate. Yeah. And it's just not the first time that Kevin Day screwed up. He lost a job when he was in Tempe, Arizona. Daniel Otter got fired for his remarks. He might have joke around, but this is how the cops feel about you. You're worthless. You're garbage. You're limited value. You don't mean nothing. Like they're better than you are. This is how ICE agent. That you mean Dick Daly squat. Yeah, and what happened? What happened to Daniel? Oh, he's trying to sue the Seattle PD. Just like what happened to Joe Salvaggio, Leon Valley. He got fired by San Antonio. Sue that, cost the taxpayer $250,000 like that. And he's still the fucking chief. Leon Valley.
There are over 1 million hernia surgeries.
Yeah, this is not an attack on American people or our country. No, this is attacking an innocent person by a dirty piece of crap, jacked up, boot-licking ICE agent. And you got the Trump administration and the police apologists want to double down and call her a domestic terrorist, a sovereign citizen, and defending that dirty ICE agent. That guy's about as big holy version as Ryan Colcher or MV Cow. Yeah. Hey, I know someone who got spray painted gold. Yeah, good old Billy Holiday, poor dirt farmer. Yeah, he got painted gold, and the man that spray painted him, yeah, he didn't get arrested. Yeah, isn't that funny? You get spray painted gold, it's perfectly legal to do so. I got a bonus clip I'm going to fire up in about a second. Here we go, some little bonus material for you. This is crazy. It only took one sign to send federal agents into a frenzy. Check it out.
Sandwich spot, 3020 Park Avenue, and all these ICE agents, and I have no doubt it's in retaliation to this sign. But look at this obscene. This is Orange.
Oh yeah, you know that reminds me of? Remember when that gas station employee locked the doors against an ICE agent? He said, "Hey, I don't serve ICE agent. I'm not gonna serve dirty ICE or cops like that. Oh, want a pizza? Too bad. Want a burrito? Want some chicken? You're not getting no chicken there, man." Yeah.
The oldest black neighborhood in the country, and look at this. MPD, National Guard. I've been here for 4 years and haven't got killed yet. Oh, he took his mask off. ICE agents. All of this. FBI. Goddamn embarrassment to this country, y'all. The business owner repeatedly asked them to get off the property, and they refused. Finally, I don't know if the National Guard, I don't know what it says about our military, that they called the feds and the police in. That didn't make me feel safer, and it shouldn't y'all either. But more cops rolling up. Y'all come out, 3020 Park Avenue.
Great work here by Hunter Dempster posting this video on Facebook, because what's being described is overstepping by the feds and Memphis police.
All right, and then MPD. Do you know them? She's going to try to get them to get us to leave alone. Huh? Yeah. So once again, MPD.
Because that cop just said this is a free parking lot where anybody can be. This is public open space. And now she's saying
until they want us gone.
Yeah.
This is what they're defending. Denying people their property rights, people's businesses, occupying the oldest, blackest neighborhood in the city.
Well, how many times has cops
This
done that
is the Memphis Task Force, y'all. And then we've had mass ICE agents, FBI, HSI.
They've done it to cop watches before.
But once again, you put up a sign that says law enforcement not welcome, and this is the reaction you get.
So what exactly is happening here? Pictured is Rob Brown, the owner of the Sandwich Spot in Memphis, Tennessee. He put up a sign on his door that you see on your screens that reads, "No ICE access in this business. Notice to all law enforcement and immigration agents, this is a private business. You are not permitted to enter non-public areas of this this business. An ICE administrative warrant does not authorize entry into private areas of this business. You may not question employees or search the premises without proper legal authority. All employees and visitors have the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney.
It's a goddamn embarrassment. How'd that work out?
They didn't get down.
I'm cool being on live. Yeah.
we are.
Well, why would you go try to get us kicked off when the business owner wants them gone?
Why you only ask them? Why you selecting?
He's a business owner.
You like to come ask me?
And he wants them to leave.
The National Guard ain't not like we're gonna play.
This is private property.
Hey, I really would wish y'all knew, man. Like y'all blocking driveways to the business and everything, man. Like, hey. Like, I don't understand what's going on. As a business proprietor, I just came up here and asked y'all to move y'all van when y'all were 4 deep. And now it's 50 of you motherfuckers here. So what's the problem?
That man is the owner, Rob Brown.
This is intimidation. This right here is what you call having me afraid for my life. I'm scared for my life. There's a lot of weapons out here, guns and stuff. Why are y'all doing this to me? Why are y'all doing this to me? I'm just a business owner, man. I'm a citizen. Why are y'all doing this to me? Can I get an answer, anybody? Anybody? Can the citizen get an answer? Can the person who's supposed to be getting protected and all that get an answer? Can I get an answer? I can't do that. That's funny because they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Just proud of you, too.
This is America, where the National Guard can go on any private property they want, and the police ain't gonna do. They're supposed to protect the Constitution. They're violating it. Goddamn shame.
Exactly, man. Damn shame you got cops like go around.
We're under 25 people. It's not an illegal assembly.
You don't have the Constitution to protect anybody. On the Bill of Rights.
Just a heads up, y'all. They're putting on gloves like they're about to do some.
Who knows? You're like, that's the guard calm down. People with all the weapons. Put your gloves on. We are lawfully protesting against this government overreach. So I'm going to suggest that y'all don't try to impede on our rights.
Brown said he felt intimidated and scared for his life. Those appeared to be very, very valid. Brown told local media that he simply asked them to move their vehicle because it was right in front of his door. And as he states, about a minute later, the National Guard was outside. WREG would report the standoff lasted about half an hour. The National Guard and other federal agents would leave without making a single arrest. Brown now says he is dealing with PTSD as a result of all this. No one from law enforcement has gotten in touch with him.
So this is America. They're sending National Guard troops, MPD, ICE, FBI, DEA. See, that's a goddamn ICE agent. Let's get his face. Let's get his face all good. Homeland Security Investigations under ICE. We got U.S. Marshals, National Guard.
That makes sense.
So once again, I have no doubt that this is in part all these troops.
HSI, you leave your white hood at home?
He said, HSI, you leave your white hood at home? Partially in retaliation to this sign. They're denying him property rights, business owner rights. They're disrupting his business. They're refusing to leave. They asked him to get off the property. They refused. And now more just keep showing up. They're surrounding everybody. And MPD even went into this business to try to get them to deny us access to their parking lot.
They got an occupation report to show up this way because it's about to challenge their authority.
Right.
Bitch ass. $1 million a day.
And I was on the, like Rob asked, as nice as could be, could y'all just leave my business?
Man, I asked so nice. I asked real nice. Hello?
And they refuse to leave, and then bring in all their little army friends and HSI and ICE agents and FBI and MPD. 3020 Park Avenue. If you're in the neighborhood or you can come show up. I mean, at some point we got to say we don't want this.
Yeah, you brought pretty much in the half
all
of
these troops and agents coming into the poorest city in the country and writing 40,000 tickets under. How delusional do you have to be to think that you're keeping us safer?
Something's going down in Memphis right now, and I wanted to share it with you guys because this, the other day I went to the mall, and there were National Guard there at the mall, in the food court. This is what's happening tonight.
Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member.
With that said, I'm Hunter Munch. Peace out. Peace. Screw the blue and ice.